This is News 12, Nighttime Edition.
Good evening. The vote totals in the District 77 school bond referendum election are still running fairly close at this hour. On the line is a $23 million building and renovation program for the Mankato area schools. Voter turnout was steady today, but not quite as heavy as in last December's election. At this hour, district officials and election judges are counting the final ballot.
Yes and no. And no and 1036. Yes and no. Yes and
8 of the 10 precincts have been counted, and at this hour, the no votes have a 137-vote lead, 2983 to 2846 on the bond referendum question. On the second question, an operating levy to maintain the new projects, the margin is more substantial, no votes again leading by 366 votes. District officials say results from Jefferson and Kennedy schools still have to be processed and that it's still too early to make any conclusions because of their size. We'll have an update for you later during News 12. The U.S. Department of Agriculture finally came through with a disaster declaration late this afternoon for 76 of Iowa's counties. In our area, Clay, Dickinson, Emmett, Hancock, Kossuth, Palo Alto, Pocahontas, Winnebago, and Humboldt are included. Farmers will be eligible for low-interest loans and will also be exempt from most farm program requirements. Governor Branstad is also asking for a presidential disaster declaration for 8 of the counties hardest hit. That would help homeowners repair damage and local governments pay for washed-out bridges and roads. Kossuth County is among the 8 counties looking for the presidential declaration. Elgin, Iowa was one of the state's northeast communities evacuated over the weekend because of flooding. Tonight, the town's 700 residents were forced out again when flood cleanup crews accidentally ruptured a valve on a farm chemical tank. Authorities say about half of the 15,000 gallons of ammonia escaped into the air before crews installed an emergency shutoff valve. The townspeople are back home and sick of emergencies, according to one resident. Tomorrow, they'll continue with the cleanup. New Prague Representative Robert Vanasek announced today he will step down as Speaker of the House at the end of the year, and already a long list of lawmakers looking to succeed him is forming. Vanasek will be taking over next month as Executive Director of the Minnesota High Technology Council. A 19-year veteran of the legislature says he'll finish his current term, which expires next year.
One thing I've learned over the years is that it's not always good to make long-range plans because events and the electric can often change the best-laid plans of politicians.
Immediately after Vanasek's announcement, Majority Leader Dee Long let it be known she'll run for the Speaker's post, and other lawmakers have joined her, including Peter Radosevich of Faribault. Alan Welly of Wilmer is apparently interested in succeeding Long if she moves up to what many consider the second most powerful position in Minnesota state government. Vanasek had been a key player in the veto battle with Governor Arne Carlson. Today, Attorney General Skip Humphrey released what he calls his legal analysis for the dispute. The issue is 14 bills vetoed by Carlson that DFLers say are now law because the governor didn't return the bills on time. Humphrey says Carlson did indeed miss the deadline and that the bills are indeed law, but independent Republicans dismissed the Attorney General's involvement as political.
This is in the mud. It truly is lost most of the Minnesotans who have started to follow this issue and have, I think, left us.
Both sides met with Minnesota Supreme Court officials today to see if the dispute will be handled by the High Court. The country's top health official released more ammunition in the battle against smoking today. Health Secretary Dr. Lewis Sullivan says children who live in households with smokers face almost twice the risk of poor health.
Our mandate is clear. We must ensure that every parent receives the message that passive smoke harms children.
Sullivan says he's waiting for a response from the tobacco industry, hoping it will assume a responsible role and, quote, enhance the lives of our citizens rather than causing disease and death. Financial health of another southern Minnesota hospital is suffering. Today, officials in Trimont announced they're going to suspend acute care services for the next 6 weeks. That means only outpatient and some emergency room services will be available. And while that's going on, the city will be deciding on the hospital's future. Yesterday, Mountain Lake officials made a decision on their hospital's future. They're going to close it. Nancy Ney was in the town today for a look at how medical services will be affected.
For nearly a century, people in the Mountain Lake area have received hospital care here. And today, there is a silent cry of pain in the air with the news that the doors of the hospital will be locked for good. On Friday, the hospital board handed over a recommendation to the city council to close the hospital because of irreversible financial trouble.
And the financial condition of the hospital was such that it appeared there was no other direction to take.
Ms. Lohman stepped into the shoes of acting hospital administrator earlier this month when John McLean resigned. According to McLean, he was terminated. Last month, the council chopped his salary from $65,000 to $7,000. Economic Development Director Hal Rainey says the hospital went under for a combination of reasons.
And then there was a declining number of patients. The rural area is losing population in competition to neighboring hospitals or the hospitals of the regional centers.
It's going to lay off a lot of people, a lot of young people. Where are they going to go? They're going to have to move. And our school enrollment is going to be down. And then where are they going to go? They're going to go to Wyndham again, and we're going to pay higher taxes, which they're all complaining about now.
With over 50 jobs being eliminated in less than 2 weeks, residents are left wondering if Mountain Lake will see many cars coming into town in the future. The hospital will officially close on July 1st. The number of empty beds here indicated months ago the fate of the dying hospital. In Mountain Lake, Nancy Nave, News 12.
The City Council has recommended the lab and X-ray departments continue to run with the clinic after July 1st. Menominee, Wisconsin has apparently beat out 2 area cities for a $50 million distribution center for Walmart stores. City officials in Owatonna and Faribault received the news by letter. The center will serve Walmart stores around the area and would have brought a couple of hundred jobs to either Owatonna or Faribault. As Mankato's Bend of the River Fest nears, so too does the anticipation of crowning a new queen. Today, the 8 candidates vying for the honor were guests at a get-acquainted lunch at the Mankato Country Club. The women were joined by past river queens, the current queen and her court, and Vern Lundeen, who will serve as Grand Marshal of this year's parade. Queen Dorothy Byrne will crown her successor just before the July 4th fireworks at Blakesley Field. Hopefully, the only rumbling we'll hear that night will be the fireworks, but you never can tell.
You never can tell. It's been a very moist spring. And you know, Andrew, tonight it looked just so beautifully clear out there, and one isolated thunderstorm got rocking and rolling.
Popped up, yeah.
Down by the Rochester area along the state line and produced a tornado in the state of Iowa around New Hampton. We had a tornado warning for that area. Nothing around our viewing area here, but just goes to show you that conditions look very stable out there. You can get one big storm popping up, and severe thunderstorms can and occasionally do produce tornadoes. So that is a valuable lesson that we can all be aware of now that we are really right in the middle of the severe weather season in Minnesota and Iowa as well. But at 10 o'clock, beautiful night out there. The stars are twinkling above, and it's mostly clear conditions right now is what we show. The temperature is at 74 degrees. The wind is out of the east at 8 miles per hour, and the barometer is at 30.08 and steady. The dew point at 58 degrees, and the relative humidity at 55%. Our high today was a very comfortable 84 after a morning low of 67, very mild. No rain to report around here today at Channel 12 or Mankato. For much of the area, it was a dry day. Big storms by Minneapolis this morning, a couple around tonight as well, and the chances are that we're going to see some more of these guys coming through the area, and we'll talk about all that in just a moment.
When you buy a new pickup, you're making an investment that'll take years of abuse from the elements. And if your truck can't cut it, you could be left with nothing. So much for your hard-earned money. But there is one pickup that's built to last, Ford Ranger. It's rated the best-built compact pickup, which is why it also has the highest trade-in value. Truth is, anything less than a Ford Ranger would be like throwing money to the wind.
You're on solid ground with a Keystone retaining wall. Keystone's unique interlocking modules offer you maximum durability and timeless beauty for your landscaping projects. Eliminate the mortar, cutting, and mess of ordinary rock or timber walls. Keystone retaining walls are virtually maintenance-free and environmentally friendly. And Keystone's new garden wall system is perfect for smaller projects. Keystone, the preferred choice for doing